Chapter-5. The Unitive Life. Atman, I have now seen that which I so earnestly desired to meet. I met myself. This meeting requires an extremely difficult and elaborate preparation. I pined to see the most beloved one, and it had to be done. It was impossible for me to do without it. I was sure to die if I were not able to do it. If death be the inevitable end, why not wither away in harness like a chained animal? Even with the innermost sincerity of my whole being, I was not able to get to the self, and the situation was unbearable. Yet with love and determination, eagerness and courage, I started on my journey. I had to get through different stages and places in the undertaking. Being quick and deft, the self would not allow me cognition at first. But lo, I realized Atman one day, and I was sure. But the very next moment, I felt perhaps I was mistaken. When I realized I was intent on observing the self keenly, but not knowing its nature with certitude, I could not decide either way. I could not be sure that Atman was my beloved and the center of my being. Being an adept in the art of camouflage, self-knowledge dodged me with a quick change of form, and I could not arrive at a conclusion. The visions of various incarnations arose, of rishis and saints, internal visions in the process of meditation and concentration, of clairvoyance and clairaudience, and the power to cure normally incurable diseases. Some masters were eager to serve me, to have faith in me, and to honor me. And this led me to think that I had truly seen for certain. It is here that the skill of Atman in the art of camouflage resides. The self is so deft in the art of changing form, quality, and knowledge that the intellect does not even know where it stands, let alone have the ability to penetrate through its nature. But lo, what is this miracle? Oh, the wonder of wonders, the flash, curiously glistening, majestic splendor. But where is it? It has disappeared in a flicker before I could get time to apprehend it. No, nothing could be known about what happened to me or to explain the light. I could not say whether the extremely swift flash and the means of my reconnaissance were one and the same or different. But what a surprising illumination! In the glow of the flashing miracle, the whole of the cosmic array is experienced directly. The contact is immensely captivating. The flash of direct experience makes one feel that it should be as exuberant forever. And this is the characteristic feeling of the cosmic experience. But in the very attempt to arrest the glowing flash of illumination and understand, one loses it along with the preparedness and precautions. And where is that fond interest in the cosmic affair? No, not even a trace of it. It is extremely difficult to get at the root of the conscious energy, as the self is the perfect adept in the art of assuming an infinite variety of forms. The consciousness to be apprehended and the power of concentration are one and the same. Being polymorphous by nature, Atman cannot be pinned down to any definite form, name, or place, as for instance the internal experiences of the yogi in meditation. The attention of the meditator is silence to the exclusion of all else. This silence is transformed into light. The light assumes the form of space, and space in turn changes into movement. This is transmitted further into air, and air into fire, where the fire changes into water, and the water into earth. And lastly, the earth evolves into the world of things, organic and inorganic. The time taken for this transformation of the original silence through the successive stages cannot be stated in definite terms. In tracing the source of consciousness, even advanced adepts get confused at times. This is what happens in meditation. The rains turn into water, which takes the form of the juices in the vegetables and grains. These again change into tastes and essences, which supply nourishment and energy. The energy takes the forms of knowledge and courage, valor, as well as cunning. And until this point at least, one cannot lay one's finger on any definite form. The limbless process goes on. Neither form nor name nor quality is enduring. Nothing is permanent. The felt experience of the spiritually enlightened is extremely difficult, being beyond one's capacity to get at it, or is beyond reach. Yet one must go ahead with concentration and meditation. The identity of the I as the miracle in the dazzling light of illumination, and of the ego, of the empirical consciousness prior to the experience, must be firmly established in meditation, and one must be absorbed in samadhi. Is the spiritually saturated soul the same as the experience, or is it even beyond that? There is no witness, no duality in the experience one has in the process of meditative absorption called samadhi. At the enlightened stage, even the sense organs are involved in the meditation of the spiritual adept. For the sense organs and the meditation are the same fabric. Similarly, the sense organs and the 5 elements are one and the same at the core. The three primordial attributes, the three vrittis, or qualities, the gunas, and the three sources of knowledge, that is, perception, inference, and testimony, were all seen and are being seen, and yet are not there. The characteristics of origination, sustenance, and destruction come through, and they come through samadhi itself. The activity of prakriti, of matter in all its forms, manifest and unmanifest, and the consciousness of Purusha, the formless, are also included in it. In a single unitive experience is constituted the contemplation, meditation, and consciousness experience as all but a single unity. Meditative absorption is the supreme activity of life. Concentration is the central experience and most vital aspect. The transformation of meditation into knowledge is a difficult process. In the consummation of this process alone is the Atman cognized with certainty. As long as meditation is not completely transformed into knowledge, so long there is no self-knowledge. So the test of meditation is knowledge itself. Then follows the ineffable duality of knowledge and Atman. In the experiential knowledge, there is a race between knowledge as self and the self as self. But in deep samadhi, there is an understanding between contemplation and the self. This results in the realization of bliss. And this bliss is transformed into supreme beauty. And the persona or sense of individuality is absorbed in the Supreme Spirit. Knowledge to itself, contemplation into itself, the primal Maya, God as the absolute state, all of this throbs as a single whole self-experience. The ever-cherished and desired being is realized here. Prior to this, in the process of the attainment of the siddhis, the spiritual powers that are just incidental and happen through meditative absorption, there oozes forth experiences in the form of arts and love and memories of past lives in different regions. In some cases, one has a taste of different powers and avatars, and of series of meetings with others in different regions. There are experiences of one's being the Lord of existence, of Shiva at Kailas, and Vishnu at Vaikuntha, and of all things from time immemorial. Again, there are different phases of the aspirant feeling, such as the best and the worst, with vast panoramas, some not pleasant, and none enduring. as well as the inevitable adjuncts of the meditative absorption, which must go on till it is transformed into knowledge. And this happens through samadhi. Till then, there is no self-realization. But on the other hand, if in the very process of this transition, the nature of this phase of meditative absorption be known, self-realization is automatic. All the experiences and the visions arising out of meditative absorption are transitory. In contemplation, there is an infinite variety of phases and forms, and none of them is lasting. Whatever is taken to be helpful and great vanishes in an instant, and a new form takes its place to yield place to the next. That knowledge from which all the varieties issue forth in experience, such as earth and water, fire and air and ether, and their various specifications, is itself unstable. Starting from meditation, the contemplating individual soul, having experienced a taste of the previous lives, is further transformed into the primal Maya, primordial energy, and God, and even into the characteristics of the Supreme Self by the power of deep meditation. And all of this is but a flicker, and it disappears. It is here that the final liquidation of one's individuality takes place. It is here that its separation from itself is compensated for, and one finds spiritual certainty, which is never to be lost again. The imperishable, indissoluble, eternal Param Atman shines forth with perfection beyond the reach of all empirical experience.